Hi, this is my second video for my Pathway project implementation, and I have chosen the top 5 questions from the autism survey based on the results I received from 12 faculty members out of 24 who returned the hard copy of the surveys that I handed out. And I will go over the top 5 in just a moment. I'll give more details about that. What I did is I looked at the ideal versus the actual results, and looking at the sections we needed to choose from, I tried to choose the ones with the largest discrepancy between the two topics. And for some, there wasn't much of a discrepancy, maybe 3 or 4 points, and so I chose what I saw seemed to be the most relevant according to what I've seen in the last 7.5 years working at my charter school. So, the social validity of the project, each of the 5 goals focus on the need for active collaboration of teachers, faculty, parents, and students. This isn't something that is going to be measured very easily. So for the second part of the project, I did a SurveyMonkey with 15 questions. Those had to be sent out in 2 separate emails because SurveyMonkey likes to charge once you get to 10 questions. So it was not ideal. I would have preferred to have it in one format, but I did split it into 2, called it part 1 of 2, part 2 of 2, and as of Monday afternoon, 5 people have returned the first part of the survey and 3 people have returned the second part of the survey, which I find very interesting. Next Monday, December 2nd, SurveyMonkey will send out an automated reminder to the people who have not returned the survey. So I am hoping within 24 hours after that email, sometime on Tuesday the 3rd, I will have results, which I can upload for the last video and the last part of my paper. So the 15 questions I created. There are 3 questions for each of the 5 components from the initial survey. So for example, my first question was number 10, teachers collaboratively assess and reflect on implementing more effective teaching practices. So for each of the 5, I created 3 questions. So for question number 10, I started with number 1, how important do you find this statement? Teachers should collaboratively assess and reflect on implementing more effective teaching practices. And they had to rate it not at all important, somewhat important, or extremely important. And they had a sliding scale they could report that on. The second question is, how well do you accomplish the following? And then I restated the question, again on a sliding scale. The third question, what would help or encourage you to better succeed in collaboratively assessing and reflecting on implementing more effective teaching practices? That one they had a choice. They could choose professional development, time to plan with grade level teachers, time to plan with same subject teachers, and then they had a fill in just titled other, so they could fill in whatever other idea that they had. So far, out of the 3 to 5 responses that I've had, the top 2, which honestly I felt would be the case, are time to plan with either grade level teachers or same subject teachers. This is a topic that comes up constantly whenever we have professional development days where the students are not there and we are on campus. Oftentimes our sister campus comes. That's a whole nother ball of wax right there, but that is not an exciting day for most of the staff whenever we work together with the other school. Our school is K through 6, their school is 3 through 12, so there's not a lot of overlap as far as subjects and needs, and their school is set up a lot differently than ours. I did not feel that professional development was going to be a big hit. I think in subsequent responses I'm going to continue to see that. That's pretty low. I believe 1 person marked it out of the 5 so far. So at this point, it seems that all of our in-house professional development days are planned for the rest of the year. There have been times I've been able to ask my principal if he needed anything presented. I've done an autism presentation before. I've done RTI presentations. I've also done that at faculty meetings, although you only get 10 to 15 minutes in a faculty meeting. So I don't know that we're going to be able to request time with our colleagues. So what I did come up with, we have a Region 11 service center here in Fort Worth where we can go, anybody in the area can go, and some trainings are free, some trainings cost. Many of those can be paid for by the school. And so oftentimes if a teacher can get the day off of work and the school will pay for a training and pay for a substitute, they are more than happy to go to a training because that gets them out of the classroom for a day. So what I've done is I broke it down into 5 questions, and I found trainings for each one, and I'm not going to read every one. I will attach it to the video and upload it. But just for example, under the question number 10, teachers collaboratively assess and reflect on implementing more effective teaching practices, I very quickly found at least 4 trainings that would go along with that component. So for any teacher who felt they needed more ideas or more assistance in that area. So I found an overview of the VB map. I found how to use differential reinforcement to change behavior. Another training on PECS training for any children we may have with communication issues. And a 4th training I found was structuring the classroom through the use of visual strategies. So my plan is to disseminate this to the faculty, make suggestions that anyone who would like more information on this could check this out. And I know that if I just hand it to the teachers, maybe 1 or 2 will look at it, the rest of it will hit delete. So what I also need to do is get it to my principal and my special ed director and let them know about this, because if they suggest it, it will much more likely be done. If the principal finds that it's really important, he'll even choose a couple of people from various grade levels and send them, then have them come back and give a training on it to the entire staff. So that's probably the best way to go with that. Again, this is not the easiest thing to record or to assess, so in the spring, once I've had time to share the Prezi that I'm going to make with the survey results, and I have given out these training suggestions and made the suggestion to my directors about giving more time to work with team members, I will send the initial survey that came in our lesson plans with the staff, the same 24 faculty members. Hopefully I'll receive at least 50%, if not more, response. And once I look at the results, hopefully we'll see a smaller amount of difference in the actual and the ideal practices. So that is how I'm going to measure this. So my next step will be completing the Prezi and sharing that information with staff members, and we will go from there. Thanks so much.